in session. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the evidentiary part of this case, and as we have already seen last week, we had our first witness called, and now is the prosecutor ready to proceed with the next witness?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Please call your witness.
Your Honor, we now call woman healed by Jesus on the Sabbath.
And please come on up here and remain standing and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Please be seated. Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, so nice to see you. Hope you all have had a wonderful week so far. We now call woman healed by Jesus on the Sabbath. I want to get a few things straight here. It's true, is it not, that you were overcome by a spirit of darkness and a spirit of weakness caused you to be bent over for over 18 years. And then this Jesus Christ grasped you, told you to straighten up, which you did. This was followed by a heated exchange between Jesus and a religious leader. Not because Jesus had healed a woman, but because he had broken the Sabbath law. Do I have the story correct? Woman healed by Jesus on the Sabbath?
Yes, I was in a terribly painful and disabled condition for 18 years. Jesus not only made it possible for me to stand up, he also relieved all my pain. It was truly a miracle.
Yes. Well, I'm sure that we are all, very excited about becoming a productive member of society. But let's talk about the miraculous nature of your so-called cure. Is not part of this interrogation. Let's focus.
But you must understand how important this was for me. You speak of focus. Try to imagine what life is like for me. Always bent over, always looking down. It was hard to do anything, even carry on a simple conversation. And it would have been embarrassing enough to be seen that way, but it hurt even more knowing people felt I was punished by God for some sin, or that an evil spirit was behind it all. Oh, the pain was constant, but would worsen when the muscles went into spasms. I always feared I'd lose my balance and fall. Even in bed at night, I had trouble finding a comfortable position in which to sleep. I would have done anything for a cure. Anything. I prayed constantly. But as it turned out, I didn't have to even so much as ask Jesus. He saw me, pitied me, and healed me right in the synagogue.
Okay, well, that's one fact that I want to be very clear about tonight. You're in the synagogue on the Sabbath, fulfilling your religious obligation. Then Jesus comes out to you, out of the blue. You didn't go there for a healing. You didn't even ask him to do what he did.
No, I worshipped every Sabbath. I had my own place by the back door. Most of us, healthy or crippled, had a preferred place. I will say, I'd heard about Jesus, about his teaching, so I was looking forward to the Sabbath. I'd heard he would be there, and I always prayed to God for a healing. But being a woman, I didn't expect God's special attention. I would never have expected Jesus' attention, much less a miracle. The men aren't supposed to notice the woman. That's why we're separated.
Okay, then what? I mean, you must have done something to capture his attention.
No, I did nothing, and being in the back, hidden by the crowd, I didn't know how he saw me, but he did. Suddenly, he abandoned his teaching and called, "Woman, come forward." I didn't realize he was speaking to me. Then I realized people were looking at me, moving aside to make a path for me. I was afraid that I'd done something wrong, but when I got there and twisted my head around to see him, his compassion dispelled my fears.
Okay, I'm sure that's a wonderful story. Can we wrap this up, please?
There isn't much more. He said, "Woman, you're set free from your infirmity." He put his hands on my upper arms and raised me up, and that was that. I was straight and strong, as I had been 18 years earlier. I praised God, thanking him for the answered prayers.
Okay. You must have heard of the interaction with the religious leader, did you not?
Oh, I heard him all right. Every word. I expect everyone in town heard him. He turned on the crowd first, including me. I guess, though, he knew I hadn't asked to be healed. He reminded us that the law says people are to work on the other 6 days, so we were wrong to be there on the Sabbath, hoping Jesus would heal us. But even though he said it to us, I think he was really criticizing Jesus.
Now, we finally come to the point of this testimony. This Jesus is charged with ignoring both religious custom and the law. Remember the Sabbath day. Keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all of your work. But the seventh day is a day of Sabbath for the Lord. On it you shall not do any work. This was not merely a human rule. This was God's law. Religious leaders since the day of Moses had further defined it. Traditions had grown up around it to have us properly obey this commandment. What Jesus did and what incited him to do by just your mere presence was a violation of God's law. It clearly proves that the charges that we have against Christ are valid.
But Jesus cited the very expectations the scribes had allowed.
Even though your testimony proves the validity of the charges, I suppose we can hear some more excuses for his law-breaking.
First of all, he called his accusers hypocrites. Then he pointed out an expectation they themselves allowed, watering their livestock on the Sabbath. I'm not sure I like being compared to a donkey or an ox, but oh well. He more than made up for it with his next statement. I guess you'd call it a rhetorical question. He said, "Then should not this woman, a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan has kept bound for 18 years long, be set free on the Sabbath day from what bound her?" Imagine that. Set free from my crippling condition and called a daughter of Abraham, all on the same day. No one ever refers to women as daughters of Abraham. So Jesus not only set me free from my physical disability, he freed me from untold ages of being considered unworthy because I'm a woman. Everyone rejoiced as Jesus' actions and words, except the religious leaders, of course. Being invested in an argument and having their own laws used against them was downright humiliating.
Yes, that is why we have the law. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if we have no law, what do we have? This freedom that has been given can turn license all too early. Just look at life today. Stores are open on the Sabbath. People choose to sleep in or even skip church. All kinds of strange, non-traditional forms of worship are being introduced. Even if people come to church, they seem to think that the rest of the day is for their own pleasure. We must convict this Christ. He started it all.
Don't you see? Christ doesn't mean for the Sabbath to go unobserved. He frees us from tradition for tradition's sake. He doesn't care what music or format we use. He frees us so that we can worship God with joy and excitement. I think that's why he chose me to heal that Sabbath day, because I was bound by more than my disability or even an evil spirit. I was bound by the law and my society's use of it. He set me free, set us all free, to worship with our whole hearts. In the end, he gave even his life so that we might have the kind of freedom to love and praise God with new, free selves, which makes me want to worship him all the more.
Dear, dear woman who was healed on the Sabbath, thank you so much. Thank you for making my case for me. Jesus worked on the Sabbath. He failed to keep the day holy. Your Honor, I have nothing further of this witness.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down. And do you have any other witnesses for today?
Not for this evening, Your Honor. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will stand adjourned until next week when we will continue with the evidentiary part of the case. We're at recess.
All right.